In our previous session we just checked for the lab setup. Okay, now today we will check for the device side security. Okay, now we have to install the Diva application. Okay, so let me open my machine and download Diva from the GitHub. Virtual machine did not recognize IP. Wait a minute. Okay, download this one, diva application.apk. Don't use the diva beta apk, just check out the diva application apk. Let me download it. Desktop. Okay, now let me open again macro Motorola Moto X. Now our Android mobile is started. Okay, so let me do the drag and drop. Okay, now you can see our first vulnerability is insecure logging. Okay, now the important part is like that whenever you doing the things in live application also, okay, which is the live application, it is same. Okay, there is a no difference between the live and the vulnerable application, it was same. Okay, I will show you in our live application also in some of these vulnerabilities. Okay, so don't worry about that. So first of all, insecure logging. Now in a insecure logging they are generating some logs. Okay, generating some logs in our Android device. Okay, in our Android device. Now for example, the logs are containing a sensitive information. They contain a sensitive information such as username, password, credit card details, any details. Okay, so you have to check the logs in some critical parameters. Okay, in some critical parameters. The parameters are, you can check on login when you put the username and password. You can check on sign up. You can check on forgot password. You can check on credit card details or a bank account bank account details or KYC. Okay, each and everything they contain a sensitive information. Okay, so for example, here you can see they containing a credit card number. Okay, for example, you are putting a username and password and hit the login button, and they generating a logs, and they clearly show the username and password are exist. Okay, so open the terminal and do the ADB shell first. Okay, ADB shell. Now ADB is a Android bridge debugger. Okay, is a Android debuggable bridge who connect your terminal to the Android device. Okay, and here you are checking a logs. Okay, you are checking a logs. Now just put a logcat command. Now when you go to the logcat command, first of all just check the parameter. Don't go for logcat first. Okay, when you open the application, don't put the logcat first. Okay, first you have to go the parameter. Okay, because whenever you put the logcat, they are generating all logs in your Android devices. Okay, so first of all, before logcat command, just go through your parameter first. Okay, just find your parameter where you have to test that. Okay, when you find the parameter, then you can start the logcat. Okay, now here you can see I'm putting the credit card details. Okay, some fake details. 9. Okay, and logcat. Okay, now after logcat done, just click on checkout. Okay, now they are showing some errors. You can see here they are showing some errors. Let me put a more. Okay, they are showing some errors. Okay, now let's check 1 2 3 4 5 6 in our logcat. Okay, Control C to stop this. I'll go for the find 2 3 4. See here, this is the credit card details they are showing. Okay, the sensitive information in the logs. Okay, you have to take a screenshot and make a report writing. Okay, so basically how to mitigate this vulnerability. If I'm talking about the mitigation, okay, mitigation it is like that. You have to remove the log class. Okay, log class you have to remove. Okay, and you can add a configuration file which is called ProGuard configuration file. Okay, it means you have to put the ProGuard config file. Okay, and the code, I forgot the code, so let's check on Google. Mitigation you can get on the Google, there is no issues. Okay, now you can see here this is a code, class android until.log. Okay, you should configure your application to remove log class at final build time. To get the job done, add the following code into the ProGuard config file. Okay, you have to add this code on the ProGuard config file to secure your sensitive logs. The method will be the same. Okay, you have to go the particular parameters and just click on the checkout button, and you can see the numbers of credit card or login page or your bank details, anything. Okay, it will be depending upon the sensitive parameters. Now next is a hard coding issue. Now what is hard coding? Okay, what was the word of hard coding? Hard coding, it means if I am a developer Okay, I'm a developer and I'm developing a code. Okay, and I just think I have to store some key. Okay, such as a API key. Okay, API key or any type of secret key, or sometimes passwords, username. Why I'm putting this? Because of I have to remember that. Okay, if I am a coder and someone tells me to remember this API key and remember this secret key, you have to put in your Android every time. Okay, for example, so I will forgot this. Okay, I will forgot this, so I will doing a hard coding. It means it is only for the coding side, it's not a dynamic. Now what is dynamic? It means whenever you putting the wait a minute. Okay, now whenever you putting anything on a dynamic, so you can close that particular parameter through the backend, through the API side. Okay, for example, mobile application is integrated. Okay, API is integrated on the mobile application and my code is dynamic. Okay, I have the three payment gateway, payment 1, 2 and 3. Okay, if I wants to hide the third payment gateway, if my code is dynamic, so I can easily hide this through the backend. But what if my code is hard coded? So these three payment gateway are not hidden, they cannot hide. If I hide this one, so I have to recode and re-update. Right, my mobile application version is 1. If I want to change, if my code is hard coded, so I have to update it version 2. But I'm not doing this because my client was edited to these things. Okay, so what should I do? I will do the dynamic code. Okay, I will integrate the API who hide this thing whenever I want. Right, so hard code, it means sometimes I have to remember the things and sometimes the developer are forgot to delete that particular thing. Okay, they have some mistake to leave some secret keys. Okay, now you have to do the reverse engineering. Okay, for that, it means on the reverse engineering part, what you have to do, you are decompile the code. Okay, and check each and every code. You are decompiling the code and check each and every code. Now for example, decompiling, it means if I am my bike is 100cc, okay, of Splendor. So if I want to decompile it, so I have to remove engine, petrol tank, okay, then carburetor, each and everything I have to remove. Okay, I have to check, it means I will extract all this thing. Okay, now what sometimes attacker do, if you know the programming language very well, like Java, Kotlin, Flutter, so attacker can inject their own malicious code in the application. Okay, they can decompile the code, they can inject the malicious code in the application. Okay, and they recompile it through the Android Studio. Okay, they can recompile it through the Android Studio. Okay, you can know the mod application. Mod application, it means for example you are creating some video games like PUBG or a zombie hunter. If I want a unlimited money, okay, so we have a mod APK version. So what they are doing, they are doing a reverse engineering to crack that thing. Okay, also they can crack some key, some license key. Okay, they also doing the reverse engineering. Reverse engineering is another part which is a big role in the security part. Okay, now we are not injecting some types of code here. Okay, we are doing a VAPT, we are not doing a reverse engineering part. Okay, but reverse engineering part we have to use for our security testings. Okay, for our VAPT testing, vulnerability assessment and a pen testing. Okay, so for checking the hard coding, we have to decompile the code. Okay, we have to decompile the code and check the codes if they're having any type of secret keys or not. Now in our previous session I already told you they're having some classes or some activity, for example login, they have login dot activity. Okay, sign up dot activity. Okay, if I check the login activity code, I just check there have any admin user or password or not, right? Any IP address or not, right? Because they are doing the hard coding. Okay, so what should I do? I just open my MobAxler on a virtual box. Third, I'll put here the reverse engineering. Okay, now the hard coded one. Okay, here is my virtual box. I will open my MobAxler. Now for the reverse engineering, there's a lots of toolbars there. Okay, I'm using a very easy tool and easy to use tool, which is very handy. So once they open, I will show you. Now by default the password is 12345. Okay, so don't confuse it. When you download the MobAxler, they will show you the password also. Now first of all, let me drag and drop the div application here. Okay, for the drag and drop, you have to enable the feature. Go to the input with on the device field and go for the bidirectional. Okay, you can do that. Now here, see, our application was there. Open the MobAxler, go for the bytecode viewer. Okay, it was deleted in the new MobAxler or what? Let me check. Onboard key. Okay, now they have a new one which is JDAC GUI, because in our previous, I think in the previous version, they are using a bytecode viewer which is very easy. Now JDAX GUI also easy part. Okay, MobAxler terminal, they are opening the terminal. Wait. Yeah, open it. Okay, so simply open the file, go to the desktop. This is the file, I'm opening it. Okay, you have to wait. See, okay, it's very faster than the bytecode viewer I am using, and I think it's the best tool for the reverse engineering. Now I'm going for the Jaka Rasim Diva. This is the package name. Okay, every application having their package name. Okay, now in the Java you can see all the activity was here. Okay, so we need to check the hard code activity. Okay, this is our hard code 1, because you can see here Okay, this one installed. Where is Diva? Here. Okay, you can see hardcode issue part 1. Okay, and also part 2. So they are showing the hardcode activity first. So let's click this. Now after clicking, you have to check the whole code. Okay, now you don't need to go through the programming language. If you don't know the programming language, just check some secret keys or some secret passwords, okay, which they easily you can understand. Okay, now you can see here, uh, here they store the secret key, which is vendor secret key. Okay, this is the actual key they are storing. Now sometimes some API key was storing, sometimes the username and passwords was also hard coded. Okay, now you can see here equals, this is a equals parameter, okay, which they storing the hard coded key. Okay, and access granted if you putting the proper key, and access denied, see you in hell. Okay, this is the text format, this is the toast. Basically we are saying in a programming language which is toast. Okay, when I putting here hello and access, you can see access denied, see you in hell, it is a toast message. Okay, if your access is granted, they are showing access granted. If the access is denied, they are showing see you in hell. Okay, so let's check this one, vendor secret key is proper key or not. Okay, so I'm putting here, you can see access granted. Okay, they are showing access granted, it means these key are properly workable. Okay, now sometimes whenever you see the login dot activity, some admin dot activity, so you can check that if they're leaving any type of key or not. Okay, on equals parameter or any type of parameter. This is a if or else statement, don't go for the else statement. This is the toast message, you can see here the toast message, they cannot containing the hard coding part, only check for these codes. Okay, now this is some classes are defining in the Java. Okay, so just check this one, these are human readable, these are human readable, it's basic human readable. Okay, it is also a human readable, but for a programmers who know the programming. Okay, but here you can see the normal human readable, it means vendor secret key, it's a normal human readable. Okay, so you can go for that. Okay, if you when you check the codes, if you find any type of another keys or another things on that, so you can check that. Okay, now the next thing is that for the reverse engineering part, okay, if you can see here the reverse engineering part, it means, for example, if I want to create the same application, okay, for same application, same user interface, if I want to create, so I have all the codes here. Okay, so how to fix, how to mitigate the reverse engineering, how to mitigate the reverse engineering. Okay, you have to mitigate, obfuscate the code. Okay, I don't know the actual spelling of that. Obfuscate, okay, it's not obfuscate, it's I think obfuscate, something like that. Okay, so check the spelling first. Now obfuscated, it means your code should be obfuscated. Okay, so the developer or a hacker cannot read your code. If you can see here, the classes are defined very well. Okay, view, edit text, equals, public, void, each and everything. Now once your reverse engineering are done, sorry, your obfuscated are done, once the obfuscated are done, they will show like AA, BB, CC, plus on an activity they are also show A activity, B activity, C activity, D activity. They cannot disclose the whole name of the activity. Okay, whole name of your classes. They only store A, B, C, D, E, F, G, something like that. They cannot properly readable. I'll show you once if I have the image. Wait a minute. Okay, this is the spelling obfuscated code. Okay, It is very small, I think. Wait. Okay, see here, this is the proper view. Okay, I will enlarge this. Now check here, original source code before rename obfuscated, private void calculate payroll. Okay, this is the class who calculate the payroll, then employee is equal to the value is true. Now here you can see the proper code which is a developer readable, but when you apply the obfuscation, they're just like a b a is equal to true, a dot a, something like that. If you see the code like this one, it means the application is obfuscated. Okay, the attacker cannot inject their malicious code, the attacker cannot retrieve the code, they cannot steal the code, they cannot do the changes in the code, right? So that's why obfuscated is very important to fix the reverse engineering part. Okay.